Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be reviewing a movie that was sent to me from Wild Eye Releasing. Just want to give a big shout out to Wild Eye. Thank you very much. Sleepless Nights here on DVD. I was kind of interested in this one because it says it's kind of like an anthology. It reminds me of the VHS films. If you've ever seen VHS, VHS 2. It says four spine-ripping tales of madness, possession, and despair. So that intrigued me because, I mean, even though I don't really care for the first VHS film, I really like VHS 2. And that's what this movie is a bunch of stories compiled together around this main story that's going on. I really love that cover, by the way. That's really cool. It says here, only death will set you free. So I was really interested in this one, but it says 2018, and I know Family Video, their flyer says that this came out, I think, yesterday on Tuesday. But when I look on IMDb, it actually says it was released February 6, 2016, so 2 years ago. But this says 2018 here on the cover, so I'm not really sure which one is right. But anyway, this had a bunch of producers, writers, and directors doing these segments. Todd Sheets and Brad Twigg compiled these stories together. And I don't know any of the actors and actresses. I mean, there's like Blade Braxton, Dylan Harvey. I don't really know any of these people, but this was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed this one, I have to say. The thing that was fantastic about this movie was the music. The music was like a throwback to 80s horror films. It feels like it. The music was so good. It was so good. Even from the beginning credits. It had this like, it reminded me of like Exorcist mixed with like Prince of Darkness. Like it had that sort of vibe to it. I love the music to this. It was so good. The effects are top notch. They are so good in this too. A lot of it gets nasty at some points, but man, I'm a gore fan. You know, I love gory movies, and this one really delivers. The acting is pretty lame, but I think that adds to the charm. You know, some of the segments are actually horror comedies. But the first segment, well, basically the story goes like this. You know, there's this girl in the beginning who's cutting a pumpkin. It's Halloween, and you know she's cutting up a pumpkin, and across from her is a little girl, and this little girl starts telling her scary stories that she's heard at school, and things like that. And so the little girl starts to tell these stories, and then you watch them play out. So, you know, there's no narrative or anything like that. She's just like, oh, I got a story for you. This man, lives at this house, and then it goes into the story, and you actually get to see it play. The first segment about Skullface, I really love that segment. These people go, this group of kids go to this house that's supposed to be abandoned, and something really awful happened there. And there's this guy walking around with this skull that's attached to his face. It's like embedded into his face. And you could tell, the story goes is that he stitched it to his face. And he's got these weird eyes. His eyes got this like red ring, and like when he stares at you, he like steals your soul, and he like makes you die in certain ways. But the music, man, the music in the first segment is unbelievable. I loved it. Besides the acting, which I said was lame, it's fine. The movie, it has a lot of charm to it, like I said. But it's a throwback, man. I love the effects, the music, just the segment itself with Skullface and like demons and stuff. Like, it was really good. Like, I enjoyed that first segment. couple of the other segments are like comedies, like horror comedies, like they're kind of making fun of The Exorcist in a way. You know, there's a girl who's basically tied to a bed and she's possessed by a demon, and so they try to get all these priests to come in, and they can't do nothing for her, and so they start getting desperate, and all of a sudden like these other people come in, like these rabbis and Buddhists and like different culture, like even like a shaman or like an Indian or whatever. They come in and try to, you know, cast out the demon, and they can't do anything, and they start running out like, oh my god. This one priest even has an earring. He has an earring, like a diamond earring. I'm like, what? I mean, it's funny, like this plumber guy comes and he specializes in plumbing, but he also specializes in exorcism and stuff. It's just part of the comedy. I mean, I enjoyed it for being kind of, you know, mocking other possession films. Because you've seen it before. They even mentioned like Linda Blair in it. But it was a funny segment. There's also a funny segment where this guy meets girls online and he has sex with them by drugging them. And so he meets this one girl who's kind of gothic looking, and he ends up slipping her some drugs in her cup, but she doesn't drink it. She actually switches the cups without him knowing. And then he gets drugged, and then she kills him. She basically chops him up into pieces and stitches them together. She chops his head off. But then, like, she's like, oh, I finally found my perfect man. I'm going to love you piece by piece. And I don't remember what the segment's called. I think it's called Love Me in Pieces or something like that. That one was really good. I like that one because it was something that goes on in real life. I mean, you can meet someone online, and then they end up being a killer. But it's like, I loved it because of that realism, but I loved it because the guy called Lucky Chucky or something like that, like he's hilarious. Like he's just like all the girls want me, man. Like, yeah. And like, I mean, it's cheesy, but it's just a lot of fun. Like, I could tell he was having fun with the role. Like, he was just, that's how I would be. You know, I would have fun with it like that. It was great. You know, the comedies and stuff. And then there are some other segments with zombies, and then there's one that has to do with vampires and stuff like that. But while all this is going on, while this little girl is telling these stories, you know, they're cutting up the pumpkin, and then they're getting ready for bed. She's getting her ready for bed. And she keeps like, oh, I'll tell you another story, and tell you another story. As this is going on around the main story, which is like a wraparound almost, the main story has this guy who has this really cool mask. I call it like the bloody Casey Jones mask, because the mask he has looks like Casey Jones, but it's like it looks a little bit different on the top, but it's like red, and like it looks pretty cool. This guy's trying to like peek through the windows and like get in the house with this really weird knife. And I don't want to give away like what happens, but like, you know, he gets in the house and something happens that I wasn't even expecting. But it was cool. It was sort of like a throwback to some of these weird films. But I really enjoyed this one. And like I said, the main positives to this movie is the score. The theme, the music altogether is just unbelievable. I don't even think it says, I don't even know who did the music or if there was a bunch of people doing it. But kudos to you guys. You guys did a fantastic job with the music. That is like, I want the soundtrack. I want the soundtrack to this movie. The gore effects, the blood and all that, top notch, excellent. The acting, like I said, the acting was pretty bad in a lot of scenes, but that's fine. It doesn't take away from the fact that it's just one of those films that you could call it a good cheesy movie, right? You know, a lot of people call it like B movies and a lot of cheesiness, and that's fine. Like I said, it adds to the charm. And the stories were actually entertaining. So, yeah, if I had to rate this one out of 10, I would give Sleepless Nights an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, if you can get your hands on this one, definitely check it out. I'm going to put Wild Eye Releasing's YouTube channel in the description, as well as their website. You can find this at their website. You might be able to find this. I know, you know, Family Video does have some copies of this, and I know they usually go on sale within a week or two. So you might be able to get it there. And I'm not sure if Walmart has it or not, but you can check there. Really, really cool movie. I really do recommend this as far as Wild Eye releasings go. This is definitely a cool one to check out. Just like I said, just a bunch of segments thrown together in this one wraparound story. Kind of reminds me of the VHS films. And I like that sort of stuff. So anyway, guys, yeah, thank you for watching this review. And like I said, go check out Wild Eye Releasing in the description. I'll be back with more Wild Eye Releasing reviews for a bunch of stuff they sent me. They sent me like 10 movies, so I'm actually kind of falling behind, as well as the Halloween movie reviews, which I'm continuing on. Next one that's coming up is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, of course. And I'm trying to get all that done before the new movie comes out in October. So, a lot to do. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you have not. I really appreciate your comments and all the support. It does mean a lot to me. So anyway, guys, this is Rob signing off. I'll see you in the next one.